Welcome to Healthy Pets, Healthy Owners. I'm Dr. Edmund Sulkowski, and we have a special show for you today. I'm really excited to have my guest, Lisa Mascara, longtime friend, and she's in a new venture here in Peters Township, and I think it's going to be a landmark for the area.
Well, thank you.
It's kind of exciting. Also, I have Tucker with me. He may talk from time to time. So let's welcome Lisa. Lisa, welcome to Healthy Pets, Healthy Owners. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Just saw you yesterday, actually, briefly. And Lisa has a new business in the area. It's basically a salt cave.
Yes.
So it's called the Salt of the Earth, and you haven't opened yet, but you're going to be opening very shortly.
December 15th.
So tell us, Lisa, what a salt cave is.
So a salt cave is a replication of an authentic salt cave. And salt caves they date back to the 1200s, and they are healing. So they are very, very popular in Europe, and basically what you're doing is recreating a microclimate of the salt cave.
So you use something called Himalayan salt.
Yes.
And this is an example, if I can hold this up, of little pieces of Himalayan salt.
Yes.
We can focus in on this. And this basically lines the floors and the walls of this so-called cave.
Yes.
And I was really impressed when I went in yesterday. Even though you
you.
were still under construction, it does represent a cave. You feel like you are in a cave.
It's an awesome feeling,
Yeah.
because the team is just amazing. They've just really created an amazing experience.
Even to the point where you have fiber optics buried into the ceiling of the cave, and they simulate stars and basically adding to that tranquil feeling when you're in there.
Yes.
So before we actually start to talk about all of this, Lisa, maybe we can put up the video of the cave. You could do that right now.
Still under construction.
And that way we can get an idea of what we're talking about here as we explain it. So that's pretty incredible. So you use different lighting at different intensities.
Yep.
And you create this atmosphere, a soothing atmosphere, basically.
Yes. And all of the salt, it does release the negative ions, which detoxify the air. It's very good for your body. The door's not really green. It's just not completed yet. And the walkway will be lighted as well.
And then there's actually salt on the floor. There's salt.
Yes, that's not there yet in there. So you're gonna, where you saw concrete, it's going to be
Salt blocks.
No, it's going to be loose salt.
Loose
so
salt.
It's going to feel almost like sand.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you mentioned negative ions. Would you kind of explain a little bit what that means?
So the salt does release negative ions, which is why people have the salt lamps, right?
And I got to tell you, I have a salt lamp in almost every room in my house, and I have for probably 10 years.
So there's a reason that they're used. They are very, they do release the negative ions, detoxify the air, and just to help balance your body. There's 84 trace minerals in the Himalayan salt, which are identical to the minerals that we need. So breathing it in helps us.
You can actually grind this up and put it on your,
yeah.
on your food and in a salad, whatever.
Yes.
That's how important it is for you.
Yes, it is.
A lot of salt is made without minerals, but this actually has minerals in it, like you said.
Exactly.
So I want to talk a little bit about negative ions, because that's really the focus. So in our bodies, and this is from a medical standpoint, Lisa, we
You
have
know more than I do.
We have negative ions and positive ions
Right.
that work within the nucleus of our cells. And positive ions, which sound wonderful because anything that's good is positive,
Right.
are actually stealers of energy, stealers of ions. When you're in a negative ion state, your body is actually accepting this, and that's creating energy and oxygen within your body. So an example would be when you ever heard the term grounded? I'm sure you have.
Very good.
So grounded actually comes from somebody walking in the dirt or in sand in their bare feet, because the earth produces negative ions, and you actually absorb these negative ions through your feet. Running water does the same thing. So if you're walking along the beach and the waves are coming in and out and you're walking in those waves, you're actually absorbing negative ions. If you have a ceiling fan, or you're sitting in front of a fan or an air conditioner, or you have your top down on your car or your windows open, those are actually ion stealers. They're positive ions, and they actually drain you. And you'll notice that if you're in front of a moving air, you get tired. But when you're walking on the beach, you become energized. And so what you've done in this cave, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to tell everybody about your cave, is you're exposing people to the good negative ions that the body's absorbing and utilizing. You know? So how did you come about deciding to open up this cave here in Peters?
So I've always wanted to do my own business, and life has not put me on that track up until now. So it's I'm really, really just so thrilled to be doing this, and it was really just I really feel like it came to me, because honestly I had not a whole lot of experience with them. I had heard of them, but it's not like I was an avid fan of them, and just sort of, you know, found them one day on the internet, and we looked into it, and it just everything
made sense.
It just made sense, and everything just fell into place so easily to make this all happen.
And that's
that
usually
it
a
just,
sign of things to be.
That's exactly right. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that this is going to be wonderful for so many people, because it just works. It's just coming together so easily.
Well, we're meant to operate on oxygen. We're meant to be slightly alkaline, and these negative ions actually help that. So what's the procedure? You, of course, make an appointment. Do you have to have an appointment, or can you just walk in?
So both. The cave can fit, right now we have 8 chairs. When you go into the cave, you'll sit in 0 gravity chairs.
So those are the chairs that flip backwards?
Flip backwards. And they release all the pressure off of your joints, so they're very comfortable. So we have 8 coming initially. The cave is really big. It's over 420 square feet, so it's really large. And from what I understand, and I haven't got my tape measure out to confirm this, but I understand it's one of the largest in the region. So that's great, because we can also do other things in the cave. Yoga, we can do workshops, we can do just a lot of different options in there.
And you're going to have a massage room as well that's a salt-filled room?
So within the cave, we created a private massage room, and that room is also bricked and has the salt in it as well, and it's lit. It's beautiful. It's coming together just amazing. And we do have some therapists lined up that will be able to offer massage and Reiki. And you know, just as it's moving along, there's just more and more and more that's coming.
So as you start to utilize your treatments in the salt room, and you refer to them as treatments when people come in?
Yes.
Okay. So you're in there, you're absorbing these negative ions, which are all through the air in the room. You should end up feeling relaxed, but energized at the same time. That's kind of neat. Maybe we can throw up some of those pictures that you had sent me, and
Which one?
The stills of the salt cave, because you have something very unique in this salt cave that I've not seen before, and I want to focus on. Well, tell us what this is first of all.
Well, so Salt of the Earth, our full name is Salt of the Earth Himalayan Salt Cave and Chakra Boutique. And so we have a whole retail section, and everything in the retail is sort of geared towards the chakras, and crystals, salt lamps, and jewelry.
So these are different forms of crystals.
Yes. So we have amethyst, rose quartz. We have
Actually, I think I'm holding that stone right here.
Rose quartz, and the fluorite point, and that's just a little piece of green calcite down there at the bottom.
Okay, now let's just stay focused on this slide if we can for a while. This is very unique in a salt cave. Please explain what that is to us.
So it is unique, but yet it is a replica of what is used in Poland. So in Poland they have these. It's called a graduation tower, and their graduation tower is something crazy, like 50 feet tall. It's just huge. And so this is a mini version of that. And what it does is it's basically pumps the water over the branches.
So there are live natural branches in that.
They're birch branches. And there's salt at the bottom underneath. And the water comes, it rotates through. And eventually you're going to see a lot of all the salt crystallize on the branches.
I did see some of that actually
Right.
yesterday. It was already
It started.
forming.
That's right. It has started. We have to finish the build before we can get that running full time because of the moisture and
Yeah.
the construction part of it. So once they're done fully with the construction, we'll be able to turn that on full time, and then that will really start to crystallize on the branches, and it's just beautiful.
And not only is it going to be beautiful, but it actually helps with the atmosphere of the room and the ionization.
Right. So you hear the running water, which is very soothing sound, and yes, that is what disperses the salt into the air. In addition to the 16 tons that is on the
16
wall.
tons of Himalayan salt.
Himalayan, yes, 16 tons.
And that
was
actually
quite
comes from
day.
the Himalayan mountains.
Yes, which was formed, which is crazy because, like, I didn't understand this. I'm like, how are we getting salt out of the mountains? I don't get it. So I read a little bit more, and it comes from the primordial sea, 250 million years ago, when the Earth moved and
it was covered by water.
by water, and all of this salt formed into the mountains. And so the salt itself is pristine. I mean, it was formed 250 million years ago, give or take a million. And
So what is this picture,
never
Lisa?
been exposed. So that was during the construction process. It's
As you start to put the salt onto the walls.
right. So they started with building the salt onto the walls, and they also started building the brick units, the lighted brick units, and then they also create the lights within the rough stone.
So there's a lot of design and effort that went into building this.
Oh my goodness, yes, absolutely. I really went back and forth. I'm thinking, okay, I could buy the salt and hire a local construction company, but they're amazing craftsmen. They're very talented. It's a very artistic thing.
And they're special. These are bricks, the salt bricks.
So these are bricks, which are all hand sculpted, basically. And this is a new technique they had never done before they got here. And he created that. So we're the first that they've ever done that with. And I just love the effect of it. Because it ties together the polished modern look of the brick and that authentic rough
Old
stones.
world.
Old world, right.
Yeah.
So I just love it. So you can see it was on its...
And there's all that backlighting. So those salt bricks are backlit for added to the atmosphere of the cave.
Yes. So yes, very warm. Just the amber lighting. It's just so soothing. You can just feel it the moment you walk in.
You can actually. And what's interesting is you have that dichotomy of the naturally cut salt there, along with the machine cut for the bricks.
Right, and that's the part that I think is just so cool. The fact that he cut the bricks and gave them that rough cut, and it just sort of bridges the two together.
Yeah, and then that amazing ceiling, which gives you the impression of almost stalactites and stalagmites, that hanging from the cave, and then you have embedded in there fiber optics.
And the fiber optics are just so neat. They're little teeny lights, and they can change the colors. You can set them for whatever. I think it's 3 or 4 different colors. But it's really neat. And I don't know if I sent you any pictures of how they built the ceiling. So the ceiling isn't flat. I don't know if anybody can see that, but it's actually...
Like a cave.
It's like a cave. They built like a cage almost that has a bunch of different angles.
Yeah, I think we're done with the pictures that you sent, so we don't have that
Okay.
construction part. But it is absolutely amazing. And Tucker's talking, so I don't know what's up with Tuck, but
Tucker's like, you're too close to me.
but you feel like you're in a cave, but like no cave you've ever been in before. It's absolutely amazing. So you're going to actually open up. Your target date to open is
next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Yeah.
So you're having just open door day that
I'm
day?
just opening the door. Okay, I still have a lot of pieces that I'm putting in place. Grand opening will be at the end of January, early February. I just need it. It is a new venture, and
people have to know
so
that you're
many
there,
things.
first of all.
Right.
And then I'm sure once they experience it, they're going to be making regular appointments. How often do you have to do this?
So I think it just depends upon, yourself and what makes you feel good. The salt is really good for people who have any type of respiratory or skin issue. And if you think about it, it just makes sense. You go to the beach and your skin feels better, right? You get a cold, you use a Neti Pot, right? The saline.
Well, some people don't do that. They're not aware of what a Neti Pot is, so you have to explain what a Neti Pot is quickly.
Well, a Neti Pot, it's just saline water that goes through your sinus.
It's a little saline water, and you have a little pot that looks like a little tea kettle, and you flush your sinuses out, and it clears out the infection.
And all that salt pulls out the infection.
Yeah,
so salt's been used for healing for thousands of years, and it's just a bigger version of it. It's not a new concept at all.
No, it's an ancient concept.
It's an ancient.
So how long are the sessions when you're in the cave?
45 minutes. They begin every hour on the hour. And once the cave door closes, which the video didn't show the cave door because it's being taken care of right now. But so once the cave door closes, there is no re-entry. So you have to make sure that you are there on time. We ask people to arrive 15 minutes early. There's no shoes, so there'll be socks. We ask everybody to wear their socks. I have some available if you didn't wear any.
So what happens is you make an appointment for the most part, unless you time it properly as a walk-in, but you're not guaranteed as a walk-in to have a space.
Correct.
So it's best to make the appointment. Is there a number that people call to make that appointment, or is it all online?
So the website is www.saltoftheearthpgh.com. It is not live yet, but a couple more days it'll be live, and the booking system will be online.
So you can go online and do that.
You can go online and you can call, and you can, you can show up. The thing with showing up is that I don't know if the chairs will be booked. So if the chairs are booked, then I don't have any place to put you. Right. So, I would suggest making the appointment.
Best to make an appointment. And so, do you have package deals where you buy so many of for treatment? Or?
We do. So there are, I think it's 5 and 10 session packages. We also have like a 1 month membership. And so I'm really kind of giving it some time. It is a new thing for me. It's a new thing for this area. And I really am trying to just let it open up, let it unfold, and see how people respond and what they need.
So you're in the building that used to be the Cobb.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everybody kind of knows where the Cobb was. So it's easy
building.
to find. And right off the trail, in fact.
Right off the trail. And I'll tell you, we when we started looking for some place to put the cave, we looked at a few places online, and I told my fiance, I said to TJ, I said, well, this building, I think this one's going to work. And we walked in, and I didn't even walk all the way through the building, and I said, this is it. This is where we need to be.
And it's ample parking and convenient. And what's nice is you're in that corner area where Mount Lebanon is close, Upper St. Clair is close. Of course, we're here in Peters Township, so everybody has easy access to the cave.
And there's such a trend for alternative approaches to
Absolutely,
healing.
it's
huge. And it's not in lieu of, it's in addition to. So
you get energized, you get these negative ions which help create oxygen in your body, and at the same time you help detox your body, all by just lying in a chair for 45 minutes.
Right. So there is no electronics. There's no talking. It's a very quiet,
no music,
meditative space. We have some piped in music, yes, some very soothing music, yeah.
So are there certain concerns, health conditions that people already have that have to be worried if they go into the salt cave, or they have to talk to their physician first?
When you get into any type of acute illness or issue, it just makes sense that you would need
so if you're
approval.
on blood pressure medication, for example, and of course everybody on blood pressure medication knows stay away from salt, dietary salt. Would that be the same thing with the salt cave? Because you're not really absorbing salt, you're absorbing negative ions.
Right. So if you have high blood pressure and it's under control, it's very good for you. If nothing else, it's very calming. So it's very calming to just bring your body down and
relax for 45
relax,
minutes.
and relax.
I would assume people with asthma would probably be
Asthma,
very
it's great.
beneficial. Yeah.
I've been since starting this. I just keep hearing more and more stories, and asthma especially. There are several people that have told me that they are just addicted to the salt cave.
So
They
I'm
have
excited to try
do
it. I've never done a salt cave, although I've been, as I say, using salt lamps for years.
Yeah. So the answer to your question is when you said like how many times. I mean, I think it just, if you're in a if you're really dealing with an issue, up to 3 times a week, you know, it's good. Maybe once or twice, just sort of.
So you go till you feel that energy improvement in the way you feel and maybe even the way you think, and then you can do maintenance programs from that point on. I'm sure it becomes addictive, you know, that filling, that energy filling.
Yeah, increases your serotonin and makes you feel good.
Yeah. You brought a bunch of crystals here, so I think we should talk a little bit about some of these. Now, this is one I'm familiar with. It's selenite. Would you tell us about selenite?
So, selenite is one of the few crystals that does not need charged, right? That this is a.
So we need to explain that because people that don't know about. I said this to somebody one time. I said, "Do you feel the energy in that rock?" And they said, looked at me like I was crazy. But you can actually feel almost electricity with some of these crystals. And you think about it, what does a watch use but a quartz crystal?
A quartz crystal.
What do the computers use but
quartz?
Quartz, all right? They're holding memory, they're holding energy, and they're giving that off. And if you happen to be sensitive to it, you're feeling it.
Absolutely.
You know, but this is a detox, and it's also a healing stone, crystal.
And really all of them have all of those types of capabilities, just they're all a little bit different, right? I mean, they all
have different properties that over time people have kind of realized they see this if you're using this stone for that.
Exactly.
You know, very interesting. But you're also selling jewelry. So what is this? That's
a rose quartz.
Okay, so quartz is quartz, but it comes in different colors depending on the different minerals that are inside the quartz. So you have an example here of clear
quartz. Yes. And I just love this piece. This is just so cool. And the crazy thing is that these are naturally forming. Isn't that just so amazing?
And you're selling these different stones and jewelry in your cave as well.
Right. So again, if you're familiar with the cave, the cave is actually in what used to be their storeroom. And then we have the retail in the
front part of it. So this bracelet here actually has a little pink cast to it. Really neat.
Yep, so that's the rose quartz.
And then you have earrings as well? I don't know what kind of stone this is.
These are, this is aquamarine in this one.
Okay.
And then these are little geodes. I think I'm going over here, right? And
then what is this? This is kind of really, it's a necklace, I see.
Yeah, isn't that neat? That's an amethyst, which is like this one and like this one. This is a amethyst geode.
This is kind of neat.
So these are all different forms of it. These are massage wands.
The one thing I know about amethyst is that if that color will go away if it's in direct sunlight for a long period of time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it actually will lighten up and become clear with given enough time in direct sunlight.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. This is kyanite. This is one of my...
So I'm not familiar with that one. What does that do?
So kyanite is related to... take this little tag off of here. But kyanite is one of the most powerful enlightening stones, sort of like the labradorite. Both of these are amazing for your third eye and your crown chakra. So, I'm sorry,
you
just
brought up
third
chakras.
eye.
So let's tell us what chakras are.
So the chakras are your 7 points of energy, the main 7 points of energy in your body.
So they go from crown to base?
To, root.
Root,
So you have your,
And so what's interesting, and I'll interject this because you may not know this, but you can actually measure those with an electronic device, those points.
What kind of electronic device?
Actually, I have one. It's for medical purposes, and it's about changing your energy. And so this electronic device, we actually place it on or near those chakra points in order to change your energy field in your body. And so it's an FDA-approved device, actually.
Really?
And it will actually measure that field before you change it.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of people say like, and I was probably one of those people. You know, I heard people talking about chakras, and some pronounce it chakra, and I'm going, oh yeah, right. You know, until I was enlightened, and then I'm working with a medical doctor using this device, and it's placed on the chakra points. So it's kind of amazing.
I mean, it's thousands of years old. It's and there's a reason that it is.
And again, we're nothing but energy, fluid and energy and electricity.
Energy. That's right.
So you know,
Which is what Reiki is.
Yes.
Reiki is the measurement of these, in the I guess the opening of your chakras, because if your chakras get out of balance, that's when things kind of go haywire.
Absolutely.
So your root chakra is located at the base of your tailbone, and that is associated with being grounded.
And that one goes out a lot.
Yes. So if you're all over the board, which I think mine was probably out of alignment for like 30 years, and maybe still is at times, but
well, such things as childbirth will change that right away, and people don't think about it. So this is the Himalayan salt. It's a candle holder.
Yeah, I just brought a little one.
So you put a tea candle in there, and it helps ionize those.
Yes.
Those.
And again, you're not going. I mean, these are not. You know, this little candle isn't going to change the whole world around you. You know, but it is going to release some of the ions, and it's. I mean, they're beautiful.
It's a personal desktop one, basically.
Yeah, and we have all different. I wanted to bring an angel. We have these beautiful salt angels, which are beautiful for the holidays.
So
we put the light inside.
Again, tell us where you are.
Corner of Valley Brook and McMurray Road, in what used to be the Cobb Collection.
Okay, and you're opening this coming Saturday, which is the 15th. And
a week from tomorrow.
And people can make a reservation. They can go in and look at all your different crystals and your jewelry.
The jewelry is fabulous. I've had so much fun getting the jewelry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, we're out of time, Lisa. That was a quick show. I think it was very informative, and I know that cave is going to really take on, because people are going to walk out of there feeling much better than they walked in.
That's what I want.
So I want to thank Lisa Mascara for coming on the show. Healthy Pets, Healthy Owners. Remember, a healthy pet is a happy pet, and when you're healthy, you're happy too. Also, you can listen to me every Saturday morning on AM 1250 The Answer at 9 a.m., and that's a live call-in show, and it kind of mimics this wonderful show that's being done in Peters Township. We'll see you next time on Healthy Pets, Healthy Owners.